Welcome to Show and Tell. In this series, I review brand new games quickly and with as much detail as possible. Ready? Go. Masochisia. I'm gonna go ahead and say this game is not for everyone. It's a point-and-click horror game that plays more like a visual novel than a game. There aren't many puzzles aside from one or two moments. The game is driven completely by its narrative. Now, I'd say that by itself, that certainly does alienate certain kinds of gamers. Those of you who are very mechanic-driven may want to write this one off. But even if you're a big story person, this game will turn away a lot of you who are initially interested in this game. But if you're into it, if you're okay with a game taking you to extremely, and I mean this, extremely dark places, then you're gonna get one hell of an experience out of this game. Its visuals are entirely appropriate. I really like the style and designs of the characters. They lended to the overwhelming atmosphere of just pure dread, and I'm serious when I say that. You feel like you're drowning when you play this game. But next to all that, there were a lot of moments when I noticed that the visuals and music seemed quite pleasant. And in many ways, that made the game feel even more disturbing. 95% of this game is seen through this old TV screen style filter. So even when you feel that everything you see and hear are not disturbing, there are still elements like the TV filter that remind you that things are not quite right. I'd say that one thing that takes away from the atmosphere is that maybe 5 times throughout the whole hour-and-a-half experience, there are jump scares and they don't really fit into what's going on. The game works best when it's being psychological with you, not when a wolfman jumps out of the trees. Mechanically, there is very little to say. I already mentioned that the game plays more like a visual novel than it does a game, so be aware of that before you purchase. There's some puzzles and you often have to remember details from earlier in the game, but honestly, I thought pretty much all of it was very simple. I figured everything out almost immediately because the game does hold your hand. It telegraphs the answers to puzzles pretty unsubtly, which wasn't a big issue for me, but it may very well be an issue for some people. But I wasn't in the game for the puzzles, I was in it for its twisted look at human psychology, and it does not limit itself to behind the screen. The game is entirely dark. There's no bright light, and I mean that in the sense that there's no hope almost anywhere in this game, and it is specifically designed to wear you down. That in itself will be enough to make a large number of people unwilling to continue with the game, and I think understandably so. But the game is trying its hardest to put you inside the mind of the protagonist, and in some ways, put the protagonist inside of you. This game challenges you. It challenges your morality, it challenges the decisions you want to do or make throughout the game. It criticizes you for trying to justify the actions you will probably take when you play, and is ultimately unfair in the way it tells its story, and I mean that as a compliment. It sets you up for failure at the very beginning of the game, and it uses some really sick tools to send you its message. It also breaks the fourth wall in a lot of ways that are really inspired and cool, and really helps to make this experience a memorable one. I did feel that sometimes the dialogue was kind of up its own ass and melodramatic. I got a little sense of that, but I do feel it fits with the tone of the game and the person you're playing as. And that's all I'm going to say about the game. I think I've given you enough information that you know whether or not you would like it. But the question remains, is it priced reasonably? The game is $8, and I think that's pretty bang on, if not maybe a couple dollars too expensive. You'll really need to judge that for yourself, but I think it's pretty obvious that if you're the right kind of person, I'm definitely recommending this to you. If what I've said in this review seems appealing, then I have to say that you won't be disappointed in spending that $8. As I said, it's only an hour and a half long, but 1, I think that length fits, and 2, I think there's enough quality that the brevity doesn't matter too much. Really, if you're playing this game, it's for the experience. It's for the psychological fuck-ups that it does well. When you finish it, you'll feel like you've been through something, and it's had a relatively profound effect on you. I can't say that none of that is due to raw shock factor, which is a little cheap, but it's the combination of shock, atmosphere, design, music, all of these elements of the game that really give it this force that hits you in just the right places to make you feel worn down, upset, and disturbed. There's no way around it. This game makes you feel like crap, and it might have something to do with it being called Masochisia. The only thing that really brings it, in my opinion, away from that goal is the unnecessary jump scares. It definitely gets a wry seal of approval, there's no doubt. I recommend this to anyone who feels like this is something they might enjoy, and I have to say, I'm one of those people. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel this was a good review, consider leaving a like because that makes it more likely that other people can find this video. If not, leave a dislike guilt-free, but try and leave me some feedback so I can improve for next time. See ya!